Allora, signori, si va. Wow, 19.000 collegati. Countdown di 17 minuti. Raga, spammiamo minchiate. Please, nerf Noed. Zeb, don't strike me, please. Aspettative, cosa mi aspetto da questa live? Allora, vabbè, mi aspetto l'annuncio del prossimo DLC. Mi aspetto che sarà quello pronosticato dai leakers, che ci hanno fatto vedere le foto, quindi il killer che si teletrasporta sugli armadi, un nuovo sopravvissuto e chissà, forse una nuova mappa. Poi, mi aspetto ovviamente la roadmap, che annunceranno quello che vogliono fare quest'anno. Tra le cose che vogliono fare quest'anno, cosa mi posso aspettare? Mi aspetto che annunceranno che toglieranno i tier ai perk. Vi pronostico questo. Secondo me o li levano o tolgono un livello ai perk, perché so troppi. Cioè io se fossi nei dev toglierei almeno un livello. Mo non dico di togliere tutti i livelli, ma almeno un livello lo toglierei. Ah vabbè, in realtà questo non è un pronostico. Questo è molto probabile che lo dicano, perché ne avevano già parlato in un dev log. Probabilmente annunceranno una forma di comunicazione all'interno del gioco, in modo tale da semplificare le partite tra i random. Una cosa un po' alla VHS, nel senso che sotto il nick dei sopravvissuti ci sta scritto quello che sta facendo. Se sta facendo un generatore, se è in chase, se sta andando a fare il salvataggio. Magari un sistema anche di ping, dove puoi pingare quello che stai facendo oppure mandare dei messaggi veloci. Ne avevano in parte già parlato su un devlog, quindi probabilmente ne parleranno. Probabilmente ne parleranno della comunicazione tra i random. Altre cose di cui potrebbero parlare è per esempio l'introduzione di un sistema di loadout, un sistema migliorato per trovare i perk, magari inserendo le lettere su un tasto di ricerca, oppure o insieme anche la possibilità di farsi dei loadout preimpostati. Ci siamo, signori? 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Overreacted. Ah mio Dio! Ah mio Dio! Ah! È lei! Oh! Niente, Live Train è stato un fallimento, ma grazie a chi ha supportato. Grazie lo stesso. Thank you for sharing 6 years of horror with us. Grazie per aver condiviso 6 anni di horror con noi. Ci siamo! 6. Dead by Daylight, sesto anniversario. Attenzione. È Matthew Coat! È il nostro amato Matthew Coat! Ci stanno i sottotitoli, vi amo. Vi amo. Hanno messo i sottotitoli.
So right now I'm going to give you a sneak peek of the 4 characters coming to Funko Pops. The Wraith,
annunciati dei Funko Pop. The Wraith, Dottore, Huntress e Claudette. Cavolo, sarebbe da comprare.
And you can't wait to get your hands on those. I can tell you you'll be able to get those before the end of the year.
Che ci dicono?
Okay. Now that I've shared that and that I've had a moment to calm down, let me officially welcome you to the Dead by Daylight 6th anniversary celebration.
Grazie, eccoci.
We've got an amazing show for you today. We have the whole team ready to share some of the exciting stuff coming. We've got a few surprises in store. We hope you're going to have a good time.
Sì.
Now, last year, our 5th anniversary was all about looking back at the 5 years before.
Uno sguardo ai 5 anni passati.
Since then, we've hit 50 million players in Dead by Daylight.
50 milioni di giocatori su Dead by Daylight, incredibile.
That was funded in under 1 day on Kickstarter. That was an amazing job by our friends at Level 99.
Annunciato un gioco da tavola su Kickstarter.
Consistently stayed within the 20 top games streamed on Twitch. All of that, and with our next chapter, we're going to now be
sempre tra i primi 20 giochi streamati su Twitch.
But today, it's not about looking back. Today is about looking at the future.
Vai, guardiamo al futuro.
We couldn't be happier to have 50 million of you out there.
Mamma mia, quanto sei
playing
bello,
the
te
game with us.
scoprirebbe.
And while there's still a ton of stuff to do, we want to focus on the things that are going to make their way into the game.
Vai, subito la roadmap dell'anno.
Use these anniversaries
Vediamo, vediamo.
to share our dreams and to share our ambitions. And we dreamed big.
Vogliono sognare in
Forgot to
grande.
do so.
Vogliono sognare in grande.
Once in a while, these dreams ended up being bigger than what we were able to deliver. We
Attenzione,
don't want to do that today.
non lo vogliamo fare oggi.
Today our goal is to talk about what is actually going to happen within
Cosa
the next
succederà
year
il prossimo
and to
anno?
give you
Ce lo stanno per spiegare.
precise timelines of when you can expect those changes.
Vai, ci daranno una precisa timeline.
We're
Pazzesco.
humbled by your passion and your support. Thank you so much for taking this trip with us through the last 6 years.
Comunque sei
And
invecchiato,
we have quite a lot more for you. Oh, and if you're watching this on Twitch or YouTube,
Verrete
you can actually play
strikerati.
Director of Broadcast by voting in the chat and help us figure out which segments are going to come in what order. And speaking of which, here's a list of everything that we have in store for you today.
Vai. Signori, annuncio della roadmap.
There. I'm Matt, design director on Dead by Daylight. I work with Dave, the creative director, and the rest of the DBD game design team
Vai.
on everything from updating and balancing our existing content to the development of all our new chapters and game features.
Raccontaci tutto.
I'm really happy to be back with you once more for this 6th anniversary broadcast. The upcoming year is going to be a really big one for Dead by Daylight, so I'm excited to share 3 key updates that our team of talented designers,
3 aggiornamenti chiave nel design.
an overhaul of our killer and survivor perks, a rework of
Ha
our
parlato di qualcosa coi
perks,
perk, attenzione, non mi dica che ci ho preso.
and finally, an update on the changes to
E un
the
update
Memento
anche
Mori.
al Memento Mori e mi sono perso il secondo.
One of the main goals for the game design team is to explore new ways that we can keep the player experience in Dead by Daylight
Oddio, se ci ho preso coi
fresh
perk,
and
crepo.
fun for both new players entering our universe and for our highly engaged expert players with hundreds or even thousands of hours in the game. In listening to our players and reviewing our own data, we've found that some of the most consistent feedback is that in our high-level matches, meta perks have essentially taken over, meaning that players are consistently
Attenzione,
seeing the same perk
Sta
loadout
parlando dei
again and
perk
again
meta
for every
che
killer
vengono
and
trovati
every
troppo
survivor.
spesso
Looking at our
a
data,
alti
there's a
livelli.
clear gap between the most popular perks for each role.
Attenzione, c'è un chiaro
On
gap
the
tra i
kill
vari
side,
perk.
these are Corrupt Intervention, Scourge Hook Pain
Intervento
Resonance,
corrotto, Pain
Barbecue
Resonance,
and Chili,
BBQ, Ruin,
Ex-Ruin,
Pop.
and
Lato,
Pop Goes
lato
Weasel.
killer, ovviamente.
and for
Lato
survivors,
Surv, The Dart,
Decisive
The Strike, Borrow Time, Iron Will e
and
Self-Care.
of course, Self-Care.
Attenzione, grandi cambiamenti ai meta.
With little motivation to explore different perk loadouts, this can naturally lead to a feeling of gameplay becoming stale.
Quindi,
Therefore, in the coming months, we'll be releasing a major update that will rework and rebalance roughly 40 killer and survivor perks, including the ones that I've just mentioned.
vogliono reworkare i
This
perk,
is aimed
ok?
at eliminating these clear dominant perk trends.
Vogliono eliminare, vogliono reworkare i perk meta più usati.
There will also be some small baseline gameplay adjustments that we would like to share with you a little bit closer to the release date. So, we'll keep monitoring, keep reviewing, and keep adjusting our collection of perks in this way on a more regular basis to make sure that we avoid these meta perks becoming consistent trends for extended periods, whilst opening up the gateway for new undiscovered metas to emerge. With this upcoming focus on balance, we're also working on an update to make perks easier to acquire and encourage more exploration.
Un nuovo
of new
sistema per prendere i perk più
combinations of perk loadouts.
facilmente ed incoraggiare più
In an
l'esplorazione
upcoming
del
patch,
gioco.
We'll be releasing a rework of Dead by Daylight's
Attenzione, rework del prestigio di Dead by Daylight per ridurre il grinding in game.
Direct, quick and easy access to perks, something that will improve the quality of life not only for our long-term dedicated players, but especially new players.
Specialmente per i nuovi giocatori, non tanto per i giocatori di lunga data.
Our current prestige system is optional, and it awards a bloodied version of the base cosmetic outfit, whilst resetting the perks, add-ons, and items in the character's inventory. This update will change how this works entirely.
Cambierà completamente il
When this
sistema di
feature
livellamento
releases,
e di prestigio.
prestiging a character for the first time will instantly unlock that character's
Prestigiare un personaggio
tier one
la prima volta
on all
ti
other
sblocca
killers or
inizialmente
survivors,
tutti i perk
making
personali
them
del killer
immediately
di tier
available
1.
in their loadouts.
rendendoli disponibili nel
We know
loadout.
that our players are hoping that the RNG gods provide them with barbecue and chili in their early
Parla anche
bloodlines.
dell'RNG, dei perk
However,
che ti becchi, tipo
with this
BBQ.
feature, you simply prestige the cannibal to prestige level 1, 2, or 3 to unlock all of Leatherface's perks at the corresponding tier for every other killer.
Ho capito il discorso, va
This
bene, ho
will
capito.
significantly reduce the grind and completely eliminate the random chance needed to acquire specific teachable perks through the blood.
Chiaramente prestigiare ti dà di base le competenze del personaggio, tipo prestigio 1 livello 1, prestigio 2 livello 2, prestigio 3 livello 3.
To show your dedication to a particular character by raising them well beyond that. Additionally, the act of prestiging will not remove their perks, items, or add-ons.
In più il prestigio non rimuoverà perk e add-on, non ci sarà il reset del prestigio. Questo è
For
importante.
those who haven't yet prestiged their characters, we're also working on a fair way to still reward players for their time investment and dedication once this update takes effect.
E verranno ricompensati i giocatori che penso hanno già livellato e speso punti, credo.
Drop around the same time during a major release this summer.
Dovranno aspetarselo quest'estate.
Finally, I would like to close things out with some news on the Mori updates that we shared.
Aggiornamenti al Mori. Sentiamo che
While
dice.
still coming, we have slightly adjusted our approach to the system based on research, feedback, and prototyping iteration. We've arrived at something that feels more straightforward, yet still accomplishes the same goals that we set out with. The change to the system will still remove the Mori ability from offerings.
Verrà tolto il Mori come offerta
On rewarding efficient killer
e verrà invece inserito come reward per il
Mori
killer.
animation as more of a natural ending to the match. This is something that we're currently calling the finisher
The
Mori.
finisher Mori.
When a killer downs the last survivor standing, rather than drawing things out and having them pick up and hook the survivor, will instead transition immediately and automatically.
Cioè quando stendi l'ultimo sopravvissuto in piedi in game lo morizzi istantaneamente.
Style, and in a way that you would expect from an unstoppable killing machine. There's also a few other additional changes coming with this system that we're not quite ready to share yet. But we're hoping
Più
to
altre
release
cose
the
che per il
new Mori
momento non vi
system
diciamo.
as part of our Halloween update this year. So look out for that.
Ok.
While we couldn't cover all of the details of these updates in the span of one segment, anyone looking for more information can head over to our website, deadbydaylight.com, following the broadcast. Thank you as always for the support.
Oh,
We can't wait
interessante.
to get these updates into your hands as soon as possible to see your amazing reaction.
Questa parte è stata interessantissima. Hanno annunciato diverse idee e cambiamenti molto interessanti da capire in le modalità, perché però è
Hi
interessante.
everybody, and welcome back to the McMillan Estate for Dead by Daylight's 6th anniversary. I'm Justin, one of the senior product managers on the game.
And I'm Aurélie, producer on Dead by Daylight. And what a cool set we're on today.
I think it's pretty cool. I mean, I hear there's some traps around, but we'll be a little careful.
Yeah, we'll try.
Cringe.
So last year, Aurélie and I were here with all of you just to talk about the pillars for the year. But I think some other guys on the team have that covered. So this year we're here to talk about the quality of life updates.
Parliamo del Quality of Life Update.
Well, it's always our goal to give you the most accurate picture of what's coming and when. The reality is that deadlines can shift as well as priorities, and we live in a pretty weird world these days. So
Dice, potrebbe succedere che magari viene slittato più in là questi cambiamenti, in base a quello che succede nel mondo, insomma, non si sa mai quello che può succedere, mettono le mani avanti.
You can bet us, other members on the team, we are going to be communicating and let you know if something shifts, changes, removes, added, really at all. We're going to make sure that you guys know about it. That being said, let's get to it.
Yes, and that's really cool because today when you will open the PTB,
Oggi verrà aperta la
notice
PTB.
is this new vertical layout that we have.
Ci sarà un nuovo
The
layout
idea behind
verticale
this
sul
is
menu.
We're running out of
Questo è il
space
menu.
with the current one, and we wanted to add more clarity and also make some information way more visible to players. Like, for example, some text in some languages, they will have more space, but also when we have an event or something happening in the game, now you will be able to see right away when you enter in the game what is happening and how long it will take. You won't have to go through different screens, navigate through the game to get access to this information.
And so I think if I can
Okay.
kinda nail down something
Carino.
cool for everybody is that I don't have to go into the archives to see how long is left in the rift.
Correct.
I'll see it right on the main menu.
Correct. You will have the exact timer, how long it will take until the end of the rift. And that's part of what will make
Era messo anche esattamente quanto tempo manca alla chiusura del rift.
easier to find in Dead by Daylight. Another feature that will be also available today for the PTB, and I think that one will be really appreciated.
I think so. I think this one is...
Questa è un'altra cosa che sarà disponibile in PTB da oggi.
So that's the
Preset loadout! Lo sapevo! Lo sapevo che l'avrebbero messo il preset loadout.
Have different saves, up to 3 for the moment, for your offering, perks, add-on, items. So you will be able to adapt your playstyle.
Oh, grazie a Dio, io se sono voluti 6 anni.
So, I mean, if you guys want to create one loadout for goofy perks, one for playing by yourself, one for playing as a team.
Grim, grazie del tier 1 per il secondo mese.
Press of a button. No longer are you
GG,
looking
grazie mille,
through,
bello.
You know, this whole inventory of perks that we have.
Correct. It will be your choice to decide between hardcore and
Oh, ti potrei fare dei preset di perk senza che ogni volta li devi cambiare. Te fai dei preset e in base a come puoi giocare te li cambi velocemente. Vediamo la schermata.
Like wondering which one to use. Well, now it will be extremely useful, easy for you to.
Beh, qua è sulle
switch
skin.
between them. And for
Ci ha fatto
both the
vedere un
main
cazzo.
menu
Vabbè, a posto.
and the preset loadout, we really think that the two feature they will bring more comfort and ease for the player. And we are really looking into feedback. So please, when you grab the PTB today, share your feedback about these two improvements. This will help you to create the best quality of life improvement.
Tanto vedremo in PTB.
For you. But that's for today. So what is happening for the next upcoming releases?
Right, so for that, we've got some other upcoming features to share with everybody out there. So one of the main ones that we actually announced last year, do you remember? I think we were both there. It was matchmaking.
Matchmaking incentivi, ovvero incentivi a farti giocare il ruolo che in quel momento è meno giocato per facilitare il matchmaking.
Good ratio of 4 survivors to 1 killer.
Vediamo che
And
dicono.
whether or not, this ratio is
Soprattutto questo succede la sera, per esempio, quando c'è molta coda da serve, metteranno degli incentivi per farti stimolare a giocare killer. Ecco, tipo gioca come killer ti dà il 50% di bonus, vedi?
On their server, at that time of day when they're online. Which I think is going to be pretty useful.
Interessante, molto
Correct.
interessante.
And with the new layout that we just mentioned, like it will be really easy for the player to see in front, like on which queue they should go if they want to have the less waiting time.
Exactly. As soon as you log in, you're going to know which role needs you the most. So if you're there for BP or if you're there just to have fun with your friends, I mean, really, we're giving you so many more options. I think it's going to be a great experience once this is introduced. Not even that, but while you're in this matchmaking, trying to get that incentive, we are doing what we're calling a game flow refactor. Very techie name, I know, but if we break it down, it's really giving you guys the opportunity to navigate around the game while you're waiting in the queue. So when you're waiting in matchmaking, your friends alone, what have you, you'll now be able to browse the store, check out some.
Mentre sei in attesa della lobby potrai andare in giro sul menu. Non serve che stai fermo sulla lobby a non fan cazzo a fissare lo schermo, puoi andarti per esempio a cazzeggiare sullo store e vedere le skin, cose così. Beh, dai, ci sta.
It feels like not a big change, but actually it will just bring so much comfort and remove so much frustration that I really like the fact that the navigation will be easy and you.
C'è un po' di lobby simulator, puoi metterti un po' a cazzeggiare, a navigare tra i menu. Non ho capito se solo lo store oppure in generale ovunque sul gioco.
Making it more accessible to get to the archives for players by doing this, by putting the timer for the Rift on the main menu. But we're also doing some more updates to the archives.
Faremo anche degli aggiornamenti per quanto riguarda gli archivi più in là quest'anno. Alcuni. Potrai attivare sia una challenge serve che una challenge killer, in modo tale che non devi switchare tra le challenge quando cambi personaggi, che magari te lo scordi.
Actually, it will be super cool because with the matchmaking incentive you just mentioned before, well, if you
Questi sono piccoli, sembrano cazzatine, piccoli miglioramenti, sono cose stupide, ma che però rendono il gioco più piacevole. Anche in questi dettagli, cioè sono importanti.
But you could queue and then you could change it because now we let you.
Ah, puoi anche mettere la partita in ricerca e nel frattempo cambiare challenge mentre sei in ricerca. Dai.
And then bring you into the match. So I think that's going to be
se ho capito bene.
But getting ahead of ourselves. One of our other big features that we're updating in the archives is your ability to view a full outfit within the Rift. So, I mean, I think we've both visited the Rift page quite a bit now that it's been out for a while. So now if a player selects a piece of a cosmetic from an outfit in that Rift, there's going to be an available button to click to view the full outfit as a preview.
Oh, questo è carino. Quando vedi nel Season Pass un pezzo di skin che ti piace, tu ci clicchi e ti fa la preview di tutta la skin. Di tutta la skin, sia testa, arma, corpo. Anche questa è un'idea carina.
Well, we're obviously trying to get a lot of these changes out for this fall in one of our upcoming archives releases, alongside some other yet-to-be unannounced archive stuff, which we're keeping a little hush-hush now. But it's the 3rd anniversary of the archives, so we're trying to put something really special together for you guys.
Voglio mettere qualcosa di speciale.
Big feature in the works, and I think I'll let you spill the beans on this.
Vai,
one.
big features.
This one, I think, our player, you are going to love it.
Vai, spara.
So we have decided. Do you remember last year when we talked about bots?
Ah, attenzione, stanno parlando dei bots. Che succede?
I'm sure you will do. So when we talk about bots, actually this year, by the end of the year, we really want to introduce bots in custom match.
Vogliono aggiungere i bots nei custom match.
Want to give the player, like if you're missing a friend in a
Se
group,
ti manca un amico in gruppo e vuoi comunque giocare, puoi mettere un bot nella custom.
and try to learn a new killer.
E magari ti vuoi anche allenare in questo modo, se ti metti bot, ma anche se sono stupidi, però intanto ti alleni. Non devi per forza avere qualcuno con cui giocare.
Extremely simpler for you to play, and we feel like for some player it could be intimidating to play a new killer or to just learn a new
Ad esempio, ti vuoi allenare con un killer senza farlo in partita, lo fai coi bot. Se non hai degli amici con cui fare pratica. Ci sta, questo è un bel cambiamento, questa è una bella aggiunta.
New maps as well, because the layouts can be entirely different. There's some new loops that you need to learn. So it's a great way for players to be able to practice those as well. Use an old killer, use old survivors as bots, and just try out whatever map you
Puoi
want.
provare le mappe che vuoi in questo modo. No, questa è una bella idea, bella aggiunta.
For timeline, and we're targeting this winter for this one to be out, and we can't wait.
I'm super excited for this one.
I am too.
I'm a bad killer, so I'm looking forward to it.
Dice più o meno questa cosa dei bot verso inverno, quindi verso fine anno.
So these ones are a bit smaller, but I think
Andy, grazie del Prime per il 10° mese, thank you.
So the first one
Bella
I'll
Lubone.
discuss is what we're calling
Mettono la streamer mod o anonymous mod.
Still undecided, still in development, so the name may change. But the basic premise of this is to make sure that all of our
Vabbè, questo interessa agli streamer, agli altri non gliene frega un cazzo.
we're appearing your name or the name of your friends as they're playing, so that
Almeno non è più difficile che te sniperano magari.
outside the game can find it and target you in some way.
And for the security, that's a huge plus as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So we
bene.
just want our players to feel safe as they're playing our game, and we hope that this is a great tool to actually let them do it. Now, the other feature is, I guess, all about the survivors not feeling so safe, which is our updated wiggle system.
Wiggle
So
system.
if you've been paying attention to Dead by Daylight, I know we have, talking to you, for the past few months, we've been testing out our updated system under our beta tab. So
Vabbè, c'è il sistema che abbiamo provato fino adesso, insomma, che ci stiamo giocando.
previously, the wiggle system was
Probabilmente lo confermeranno, immagino.
keyboard controller, whatever you chose. Now it's instead a skill check. So during the beta, we were all listening to a lot of our player feedback. So our design team has really taken that into account. And with those changes, we're going
Esattamente, sì, sarà un cambiamento permanente, non più in beta.
The team, really thank you for using the beta tabs. It was really, really useful for us to collect all this information and to see how you feel about new changes that we just want to make sure that all the changes that we introduce in the game are the correct ones.
Yeah, I mean, I know we all love the PTB, being able to try out new content, but this let us really bring in all of our console players who have been asking for a way, and all of their input, especially given that it was very controller heavy, is really appreciated.
And sometimes we just need more time also to get the feedback.
It certainly helps. So with all of these, we also have some other smaller features that we weren't really able to fit in here. So head on over to our website at deadbydaylight.com to read a bit more after the segment.
Va bene.
And we
Interessante,
really
interessante.
hope you
Le cose che hanno
guys
annunciato anche loro sono molto
announced
interessanti.
today. I know we
Sono belle
are,
aggiunte.
and we expect that you will enjoy this anniversary with us. And We hope you a very good Dead by Daylight experience here.
Yeah, enjoy the rest of
No,
the
raga,
broadcast,
che ne
everybody.
pensate? Penso sono belle aggiunte, no? Dead by Daylight X Attack on Titan Collection! Oh mio Dio! Che cazzo dici?
Dead by Daylight team are big fan of anime, especially Attack on Titan.
Che cazzo
The
dici?
process of creating new outfit based on the
Cioè fanno
new
delle
collection
skin a
based on
tema
Dead
Attack
by
of
Daylight
Titans. Oh
has
mio
been
Dio!
really exciting. We thrilled,
Così, a caso.
to be
Debotto,
including
senza
20
senso.
outfit, for both Survivor
Sia per
and
Survivor
Killer.
che Killer. Oh
And
mio
also,
Dio!
We need to say some surprise for later on. I think we can still give some glimpse of the concept art for Attack on Titan.
Fateci vedere qualcosa.
Because working on Attack on Titan was a great challenge, but really exciting one.
Raga, io sono grosso fan di
We
AOT.
had to assimilate like the iconic
E compro
aspect of,
tutte quante.
the 2D art direction from the show and adapt it on 3D, making sure like the characters remain themselves even if applied on DBD characters. And because they are not legendary outfits, the goal was not to reskin them and transform them into something way too different from our more realistic art direction. So we then came with bigger eyes, etc. We felt it more like, okay, we could create like great cosplay of this character. Our mindset was more, what if our DBD characters were part of the Attack on Titan universe? And from who are they closer?
Dice, cioè nel senso le skin seguiranno la logica del come sarebbe il nostro personaggio all'interno di Attack of Titan. Ovviamente non è che gli mettono gli occhi da giapponese, cose così, però tipo come se facessero dei cosplay, ok? In breve ha detto
So
questo.
we could focus on some aspect of each to match our DBD personalities. We have Eren.
Metteranno
one of
Eren
the hero, of the,
e sarà
of the
Dwight.
show, and we have
No.
Dwight, in a sense, is one of our heroes.
Oddio,
So
no,
he
metteranno la skin di Eren
there
su
since
Dwight,
years,
ok.
And we kept the details of Dwight, like having
Vi
the
prego,
iconic
fateci vedere
glasses,
qualcosa.
the
Oh
messy
mio
hair,
Dio.
And even with the equipment
È
of Attack on Titan,
bruttissimo.
we made sure like the equipment is
Però la comprerò al
great and,
100%. È
nothing's
troppo bella.
perfect because it's Dwight.
È orrenda ma bella allo stesso
Yeah.
tempo.
NG. For her, it was
NG
easier because
invece
we have
Zarina.
also, and it was a perfect match. She's a scientist.
No, dai,
that
questa ci sta. No,
investigates on
bellissima.
Titans.
No,
And
Zarina Angie è bellissima.
with Zarina, like they are both.
Dai, ci sta la grande. Zarina Angie ci sta. Eren e Dwight.
To keep the details,
Eren Dwight è quasi
perfect.
meme. Però Zarina cosa. Angie è,
But not the
è
glasses,
figa.
because
Minchia, bella
she doesn't
proprio.
Wear glasses. The Armor Titan. He's there, you know. We have it as a ultra rare cosmetic for.
Per Loni! Oddio,
And
Loni
not
con la
only was a good
skin
match
del
because
colosso.
we
No,
apply
vabbè,
a skin,
sborro.
one of our largest killer of the
Sborro
game,
dal naso.
but also
Oh
we
mio
are
Dio, ma è
able to
bellissima. Se la fanno così.
use,
Oh
this
mio
crystal
Dio,
form
prendete
for the rage mode.
tutti i miei soldi
And
subito.
While the base of the crystals
Ma che
are blue
figata.
in the show, we tinge them with a red VFX.
Gli mettono anche gli effetti che quando si attiva e corre c'ha gli occhi rossi. Ma che bello.
This is for us. We
Cazzo,
also enjoyed,
fighissimo.
the behind the look scene and also our new collection that we just showed you. Of course, we're gonna keep an eye for more Attack on Titan news. Thank you.
Dai. Cringino. Ma vabbè, ci sta la grande, ma che succede? Attenzione. Trailer nuovo DLC. Trailer nuovo DLC. Questo è il nuovo sopravvissuto. Che è quello che è stato liccato. È il surf che è stato liccato, è lei. E killer che esce fuori dall'armadio. Dead by Daylight, Roots of Dread. Nuovo killer, Dead Reg. Nuovo survivor, Eddie Cazzi. Non l'ho letto. Vabbè. 7 giugno, uscita 7
Hi
giugno.
everyone. I'm Dave Richard, creative director on Dead by Daylight, and I am super glad to be here today to
Ok, adesso ci parleranno del nuovo DLC, ci spiegheranno un po', immagino, i poteri e la roba.
The tradition is to tell you all the content that's going to be in the chapter. And this time we're
Oh, per una volta i leak ci hanno preso. Proprio una volta, in 6 anni ci hanno preso una volta, dai, bravi
So
leakers.
this new chapter is called Roots of Dread, and it's a full chapter. It contains a new survivor, a new killer, and a new map within a new realm of the entity.
Ci sarà anche una nuova mappa, nuovo killer, nuovo surve e nuova mappa, attenzione.
The chapter revolves around a town, a perfect town. Well, a town that seems to be
La mappa si svolgerà in una città perfetta,
The residents are hiding something
dove i cittadini nascondono qualcosa di terribile, un terribile segreto, e dove l'oscurità sta emergendo e esce fuori il killer. Parliamone.
So the Dredge is inspired by the Boogeyman.
Dredge si ispira a Boogeyman.
And is known around many culture. It's a domestic fear. It's a monster that is really close.
Proprio l'uomo, il mostro nell'armadio, proprio, il mostro nell'armadio.
Inside our house, under our bed, in our wardrobes. And that's the type of creature we wanted to feature and create. So it is the physical representation of the darkness.
La rappresentazione fisica dell'oscurità in città e dei loro segreti. È una strana creatura, un mostro subumano. Sì, effettivamente è molto brutto. Grazie di 50, Tony. Monsters è un mostro.
We wanted to make sure to create a visceral scare when facing this creature. It's a bit like when you're having a nightmare. You know it was super scary when you wake up.
È come quando hai un brutto incubo e tu ti svegli e non sai dove metterti il dito. In che senso? No, aspetta, forse ho tradotto male, vabbè.
Is quite unique. It's a first for Dead by Daylight killers. It's a monster recreated by different limbs.
È bello, l'estetica sembra figo.
Claws, pincers, tentacles. And we wanted to make sure that you, the player, would be able to customize as you wanted this monster. What's really cool as well for the cosmetic is that we are able to explore themes that are organic.
Dice, puoi personalizzarti questo mostro come vuoi, con cosmetici organici, cosmetici invece che assomigliano a una bambola. Guarda, tutto imbambolato. Che mostro.
So when playing the Dredge, we wanted you to feel like you're the embodiment of darkness, of fear itself. We wanted to recreate that feeling of a monster that's really close to us, that lives in your house.
Andiamo a ricreare il feeling del mostro che è dentro casa tua. Ci sono 2 fasi del potere. Nella prima fase è l'abilità di usare gli armadi per teletrasportarti al loro interno. Questo è ottimo per muoverti sulla mappa. Potrai viaggiare sulla mappa molto velocemente e potrai anche sorprendere i sopravvissuti che sono vicini all'armadio. E anche se i sopravvissuti sono dentro gli armadi. Nella seconda fase del potere, chiamata Night Circle, qui diventa molto interessante. In pratica le azioni di The Dredge sono passive, abilità passive. The Night Cycle si builda sul sopravvissuto. Quando finalmente Night Cycle si triggera, l'oscurità avvolgerà il sopravvissuto. L'oscurità renderà molto difficile il movimento, specialmente in chase, nell'inseguimento. E l'unica cosa che potrà fare il sopravvissuto, che potrà vedere è quanto è distante The Dredge da lui. Questo farà molto paura e farà compiere errori ai sopravvissuti. Il killer arriverà con dei perk, ovviamente, ma non andremo nei dettagli dei perk. Posso dire che ruotano attorno al caos, i segreti e la corruzione. Adesso andiamo a parlare del nuovo sopravvissuto, Eddie Cower. Eddie Cower. È già apparsa in passato negli archivi. È apparsa 3 volte negli archivi. Ma dato che nessuno li legge, nessuno lo poteva immaginare. È nata in Nord Irlanda, ma è stata adottata in Quebec, da una famiglia in Quebec, dal Quebec. E quindi è molto interessante scoprire la sua storia, i suoi cosmetici e la sua storia negli archivi, che nessuno legge. Lei ha l'abilità di guardare il bleeds, che è sanguinamento, non so che è.
And so Hattie had her share of paranormal adventures and encounters with dreadful beasts from the entity's world.
Ok.
Strange creature.
Strane
And
creature,
actually, we can
mostri.
see on her body all sort of scratch
Infatti ha
and
tutte
marks,
cicatrici sul suo
from these
corpo.
encounters. Of course, Addie will come with 3 unique perks.
Anche lei
Addie
arriva con
will
3
serve
perk.
abilities that the survivors are able to equip and use. These are themed around paranormal insight,
Il loro tema è roba paranormale, proficienza con oggetti occulti e la loro temerarietà.
and finally, let's talk about the map.
Parliamo della mappa.
So this time around, we're really excited to introduce a new realm for this chapter. So really, we are going back to the roots of horror, to a classic, something that we see
Qualcosa che abbiamo visto numerose volte all'interno dei film horror.
novels, movies, and other horror material. And this is a small American.
Una piccola città
We
americana.
wanted to make sure that we created something domestic, something familiar.
Vogliamo creare qualcosa di domestico, di familiare.
The Garden of
Si
Joy,
chiamerà The Garden of Joy,
featuring
il giardino
one
della
house in the
gioia.
perfect town that we talked about earlier.
Oh, bello.
This house looks perfect from the outside.
Questa casa sembra perfetta
It's like a
dall'esterno.
ghost sitting in the middle of a gloomy forest.
È come se ci fosse un fantasma al suo interno.
And when you go inside that house, you'll see how twisted and wrong.
Una volta entrati dentro capirai che c'è qualcosa di sbagliato, qualcosa di oscuro, un segreto oscuro nascosto al suo interno.
What's really cool about this new realm is that in the future we will be able to explore it again, but in other contexts than in the Dredge perfect town. So this realm is built from different memories, from different characters. And so we'll be able to explore different cities wrapped inside that same realm.
Ok.
All right, that was the whole content of our newest chapter,
Okay.
Roots of Dread. I hope you are as excited as us to try this new content. And you'll be able to do so right after this event as we go live on the PTB.
Ci sarà la PTB
The
dopo
chapter
la
will become
live.
available to all on June 7th.
E uscirà il DLC per tutti il 7 giugno.
And thank you for an incredible year of Dead by Daylight.
Grazie a te, carissimo. Sei stato molto chiaro. Cos'è questa maschera veneziana? Ah, fieri.
Hey there, everybody. I'm Justin, one of the product managers on Dead by Daylight. Still stuck in this fog from earlier, but this time joined by a new partner.
Hi, I'm May. I am a Twitch-lurking, dog-snuggling influencer manager on Dead by Daylight.
Ok.
So, since a Dead by Daylight anniversary wouldn't be the same without a celebration in the fog, both May and myself are here to share with you what's going on for the Dead by Daylight 6th anniversary in-game event.
Vai, che è l'evento del sesto anniversario di Dead by
last
Daylight.
year
Che
we
si
had
fa?
a really fun one, but the team has taken a hard look at what worked and what didn't, and we're trying to find ways to take it even further for the 6th anniversary, which is actually starting on our real anniversary this year. So the event
16th,
starts
yeah.
on June 16th. I think it's really cool. So for the theme this year, the Fog is going to be celebrating something called the Twisted Masquerade.
Twisted Masquerade,
Now,
questo è
this
il
is meant
tema.
to be a real party in the world of Dead by Daylight that's being hosted in the entity's name by someone lurking in the shadows, I've heard.
Everyone loves a masquerade, so we've really tried to run with the theme and taken our decorations to the next level. As you might have already noticed in this broadcast, we've added this gorgeous midnight blue to our usual black and gold color palette, and you'll see it all over the entity's realm
Ah,
during
mettiamo
this
le
event.
lucine.
We're also reskinning
Il palloncino.
the killer shack and the exit gates, and there's going to be some really cool, creepy effects because of it. Expect the entire fog to be decked out to the nines.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things that we're decorating for really the first time, like proving just how big this whole celebration really is. We really want this to feel like a party and a celebration. So everything is really going
Vane,
to
grazie
play
al
on
Prime per il
this
quinto
masquerade
mese.
in interesting ways.
Non
beginning with our
odiarmi anche se uso
anniversary
i Bunara.
cosmetics.
No, non
Last
odio
year was the
nessuno, si
second year
scherza.
Now we actually did the Crown Collection, where mechanic-wise, players would run around, find pedestals, and collect a crown for that specific character. But this year, with this masquerade theme, we wanted to find ways that we could really push it further and deliver an even bigger payoff when it came to the cosmetics that you'd be able to collect.
So while you'll still be hunting down pedestals in your trial, this time you're going to be grabbing invitations to the Twisted Masquerade. Collecting those invitations will earn you one of 12 possible cosmetics as killer or survivor. And since we're going to a masquerade,
Ah, puoi ottenere fino a
it's gonna be
12
beautiful
cosmetici,
designs.
vedi, tutte maschere, oh
Last year, while
belle!
you could earn cosmetics
Artista,
for every
Deathlinger,
single
Huntress,
original
Spirito,
character, it
Trapper,
was
Trix,
the same
belle,
crown
mi
for
piacciono, belle
each and
maschere.
every one of them. We feel like that's run its course, and we wanted to do something a little more special this year. This year, we're focusing on one original survivor and one killer for every year of Dead by Daylight. The mask you earn will only be wearable for that specific character because it's tailor-made to suit their personality and style. The masks are also going to be earned randomly.
Verranno prese in maniera randomica. Quindi dice, se giochi Dwight potresti anche sbloccare la maschera di Elodie.
That's Dwight.
So while we are focusing on a smaller subset of characters, they're going to make much more meaningful additions to your collection and look pretty sweet if I do say so myself.
Absolutely. I mean, I've had to resist just putting this one on and trying to run away with it.
Oh, sono super emozionato.
So I'll have to settle for just earning it in-game. And similar to what we did for our Halloween event, the Midnight Grove, the 6th anniversary will also include an event tome. So what's great about this is we're going to have 2 full levels of challenges and lore that's directly tied to the Twisted.
2 nuovi livelli di challenge e di lore collegati a questo evento. E ci sarà anche una community challenge.
If you were around doing our community challenges, we were communicating on this via our social media channels. And we feel like the players really enjoyed this, but we want to bring it a little closer to you directly in
E la challenge verrà annunciata direttamente in game. L'anno scorso era stata annunciata tramite i social.
On that, you can track both the global progression of everyone.
E potrai vedere anche il progresso globale, insomma, della challenge. La potrai seguire tranquillamente.
Contributions are important because you're going to have to work and you can't just take advantage of everyone else's hard work.
Exactly, but while the players are waiting for the community to catch up so that they can go on to the next challenge, there will be a set of personal challenges below on each level that you can work towards.
Vedi, proprio sono 2 livelli di challenge a parte rispetto alle challenge del tomo.
What's happening for the story behind the scenes of the archives and of the Twisted Masquerade. I mean, you're going to be earning event cosmetics either way, so definitely take the time, try to finish all of them.
So what about Dredge and Hattie? Are they getting something for this masquerade?
So since these are actually our 2 new characters coming in, it's important that we're treating them as our guests of honor for the Twisted Masquerade. So if you're seeing from any of the content that we're sharing,
questo è il nuovo killer con la maschera.
Full outfits themed for the event that you can unlock.
Nuovo survivor.
The community goals and the personal goals. So if you want all of it, you have to do both.
And they're really worth getting, so I suggest you do. And we also have some very cool, very gross charms.
Nuovi charm.
Like this 6th anniversary Rancid Cupcake, a pop-up card, and my personal favorite, a skull with a little party hat.
Carino.
And that's definitely a reminder of the last person who tried to bring a party hat into the fog.
Try and stop
Anthony doesn't
me.
like fun.
Okay.
So for a few final touches on the event, we're bringing back some things from last year that worked really well, like our loading screens with developer comments and selected art. So, as you're loading up into your game, you're going to see quotes from wacky folks like myself, May, and others, and really bring you a bit closer to the really cool people who worked on Dead by Daylight. On top of this, we're going to be bringing back our daily discounted Shrine of Secrets. So instead of it cycling on a weekly basis, we're going to be changing all of the perks every single day and be providing you a discount, so it costs less iridescent shards for every single perk available during the event. On top of that, because we know you guys love blood points.
Attenzione, blood points.
We're going to be doing a weekend.
Ci sarà un evento bloodhunt nel fine settimana.
Again, still not done. We're going to be giving a lot
durante la settimana, non ho letto bene.
So, if that's not enough blood points for you, not enough rift fragments, not enough iridescent shards, players will be able to earn more of these just by logging in.
It's definitely not the time to save your pennies for a rainy day. There's so much fun stuff to get. Take advantage. But for now, on behalf of everyone, I just want to say thanks again for another amazing year of Dead by Daylight. And we'll see you in the fog on June 16th for the Twisted Masquerade.
Partirà il 16 giugno questo evento dell'anniversario. Il 16 giugno. Dead by Daylight Mobile. Cos'è questo trailer?
今日は暑かったでしょ。いつものビールでいい？はい。
Nani? Nani? Tasukete! Oni-chan! Nani? Oh. Ecco qua. Quando ordini il costume di Legends Wish.
We're very excited to share some great news about the DVD mobile game. So we had a big update in Japan at the end of April, and the results are amazing. We want to progressively release this to the rest of the world too. In the United States, there will be a closed beta test in the next few weeks, so stay tuned for that. You should know there's going to be quite a lot of new features in this version of the game. Leaderboards, quick matches, team system. We're also improving many aspects of the game. There's going to be visual improvements on the performance, fluidity of gameplay, and the control layout, and the new player tutorial. Also, there's going to be some brand new rewards added and some unique customization. More news are going to be coming very soon.
Vai, ci terremo aggiornati. The Diretta presents A Dead by Daylight Dating Sim. Ma cos'è questa cosa? Hooked on You. Ma che cazzo ho appena visto?
If you had told
Scopo.
me when we launched this
Scopo.
game that I'd be here
Scopo.
6 years later with my feet in the sand,
Scopo.
announcing a Dead by Daylight dating sim, I would have never believed you. And that is what makes today such an amazing day.
Ma un po' che tatuaggi che c'ha il signor Cott, fichi, minchia.
Hooked on You, a Dead by Daylight dating sim is
Ma che
quickly
Chad.
coming. So it is a crazy idea. It's an absurd concept, but we are always looking for new ways to tell our Dead by Daylight stories. And our fans have shown us over the years just how thirsty they are for more background and more stories about our characters. So last year we did an official community survey exploring new ways potentially of expanding the universe.
Ma è un gioco vero che deve uscire. Morimi Daddy Trickster.
That was a surprise, but you know what? We decided to go for it.
Cosa?
This was a tall order. We needed to find the right people to do this justice, to really treat this properly so that it didn't turn out as insane as it sounds.
Sì, sembra abbastanza insano, in effetti.
So we decided to go with some specialists out there, some people that made a little game called I Love You, Colonel Sanders, that was very well received.
Raga, fanno veramente un gioco.
With me today, Alexei from
Lo dovremo giocare per forza. Proprio per forza.
For the upcoming Dead by Daylight.
Dead by Daylight Dating
Thank
Sim.
you for having me. I'm really excited that I got to create such a unique take on such a really serious and kind of grim world and bring it into a little bit of hearts and butterflies and shine some rosy, warm light on it.
That's awesome. So yes, you're absolutely right. We created a very grim universe, and we asked you to do something extremely silly with it.
Yeah.
How does one go about making this right?
Sure. Well, you know, I like to say that when making a project that seems as off-kilter and unexpected as this, the big gimmick for me is that there is no gimmick. It is a serious game that we take really seriously when we create it, and we treat all of the characters with a sense of humor, but with sort of deep respect as well, so that we can make a really compelling game that does justice to the expectations that fans have and the expectations that these characters would have if they were slightly more real.
So it's a matter of really finding a new, interesting context in which these characters can actually express a different side of themselves.
Yeah, so the story that we're
Non so
creating
come
is very much
commentare
not a
quello
canon
che sto
story
leggendo
for the
e
Dead by
sentendo.
Daylight
Important to put it out there.
Want to make sure that's clear. That being said, we want to create something that really does justice to the truths that have been established. So we started someplace as far away as we could by thinking about, what is the brightest and happiest kind of take on this world? Well, maybe it's something like the beach episode of a sitcom or an anime series, and then kind of pull our way back into that main core experience of what's going through these killers or survivors' minds at any given moment, and try and make sense of those two worlds playing together and see what kind of crazy stuff comes from it.
So obviously one of the main questions that people have is what characters from Dead by Daylight will I be able to interact with?
Ecco qua.
Sure. Well, leaning into that kind of sitcom or anime kind of cliches and tropes, and then kind of turning them on their head, we decided to take 4 killers.
Prenderanno
and
4
the
killer.
Are the most monstrous and inhuman characters in the world, and make them as
E
human
li umanizzeranno.
as we could, by assigning 4 kind of typical TV trope archetypes to them. So we've got the trapper, who is standing in as the jock. We've got the huntress, who is standing in as the overachiever. We've got the wraith, who is playing the nerd. And we've got the spirit, who is the goth.
That's amazing. And it's interesting also as a
Lo
take
spirito
because
direi che un po' mi
those sort of
attizza.
archetypes, those cliches from horror movies from forever ago are things that
Spirito
we try
best
to
waifu.
not erase, but we try to avoid when we did Dead by Daylight, especially on the survivor side. We had them much more be humans and
Un
relatable.
appuntamento con lo
So it's
spirito
really
volentieri
interesting
quando
to
vuoi.
see those things that are very important to the horror genre be represented in this.
Yeah, in writing the experience, it made for a really fun twist. And what we recognized when we dug as deep as we could into the lore and talked so much with your team is
Stupido
that all of
sexy
these
spirito.
killers come from a really human place to begin with. They've all suffered some sort of trauma or some sort of really dark thing in
Chissà
their
se ci fanno
past
vedere
that
anche
bringing
Surv.
them into this kind of comedy scenario, but still exploring their real lore, it was just like pretty wild. So we had a lot of fun with it.
Very cool. And who,
Very
as
cool.
the player, like it was an interesting choice to figure out who the player would be in this scenario.
Well, we want to let the player play as themselves. So this is an interactive branching story.
È una
and
storia
you will get to
interattiva.
make decisions that define who you are. There is
Dove
no
potrai
canon
definire chi
version of
sei.
yourself. And we thought that was a great way to really do justice to the huge amount of diversity and variety in the Dead by Daylight.
Questo per rendere
audience.
giustizia a tutta la diversità e varietà all'interno della community di Dead by Daylight. E potrei fare la romance con questi 4 killer che rappresenteranno 4 tipi diversi di relazione. E potrai vedere quale killer pensi sia meglio per te. Mauz, grazie del raid, bella raga.
That's awesome. A very important piece of also building that world and really giving the ambiance the gravitas it needed is the music.
Ecco, musica.
And you got a really cool opportunity in there.
Yeah, we worked directly with Michel, the composer for Dead by Daylight, to make sure that even though we took this to a very different sonic place of marimba
Lo porteremo al
and
day
steel
one, per
drums
forza,
and,
ma ovvio che lo
jazz
porteremo al
flute
day one.
solos or Spanish guitar,
Non me lo posso perdere.
that kind of core DNA of Dead by Daylight and give people something that's new and unique, but also kind of true to the
Tocca fare la romance con tutti, pure col trapper, con tutti.
Yeah, Michel was kind of happy to be able to try his hand at a few different styles that he hadn't, and I think he surprised both of us with the jazz flute.
It may seem like an odd thing to say about something that sounds and looks so different, but we wanted to make sure that it really feels fresh but authentic.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to join us here.
Vabbè, ok. Questo era impronosticabile. Cioè, questo annuncio era completamente impronosticabile. Però è interessante, ce lo giocheremo. Spero che sia fatto bene e che ci possa divertire, insomma.